hearing aids here at QVC. And now, at the lowest price that we've had, we're bringing you a today's special value of their Atom Pro 2. It's one of their most discreet, easy to wear. It gives you, not to be, you know, over dramatic, but it's a life-changing experience. Because if you ever go out to eat, and it's hard for you to hear the server tell you the specials, or even have a conversation with your family because there's so much background noise. Or you notice yourself, because you know your TV, you're clicking it up more and more. Maybe actually what you're noticing is your partner complaining that the TV is so dang loud, and you're thinking, I can barely hear it. That's when you know, if you have mild to moderate hearing loss, it's time for a hearing aid. But for the first time ever, we have it as a today's special value at the lowest price that we've been able to offer you. It's the lowest price that we found, under $200 as a today's special value. And I'll walk you through everything that you're getting. But with Audien, it's never been easier. There's no appointments, there's no leaving their house, there's no go to the doctor, get a fitting, spend the $1,000. This is really an incredible opportunity. You're gonna get your Atom Pro 2 hearing aids. It's their lightest weight, most discreet size. You also get your hearing aid maintenance kit. You get a 1-year protection plan. That's a $48 value for the full year. So happen to lose one falls out, one gets stepped on, the dog sneaks one away, or if you're at Alberity's house, it'll be the coyote. No, I'm just teasing, but you've got that 1-year protection plan. Then you also have a specialist appointment. That's a $100 value. If you've never worn a hearing aid before and you want to make sure you put the right tips in, they're going to help you every step of the way. You also get a variety of fits and styles, so you get the most comfortable experience. This is not just something that amplifies sound. No, no, no. This is truly a hearing aid that allows you, with different modes and volume setting and different scenario settings, to get an impeccable hearing experience. That's our today's special value. I want to let you know you do have 60 days to try these out. So if you're thinking of gifting these to somebody in your family because you've been noticing they turn up the volume a bit too loud, they seem to disconnect when you're out to dinner, and you're thinking they can't quite pick up on the conversation the way that they used to, they need a hearing aid. And Audien is the way that they're doing it, in a revolutionary way. Our today's special value price is under $200. Ishan Patel is joining us. Ishan and his business partners are the founders and creators of this brand. Ishan, come on in, because what you're doing is really cool. The fact that we can get hearing aids, by the way, over the counter, to me is revolutionary. When my dad first needed a hearing aid, it was first the hurdle of getting over the, you know, stigma of like, it's time for a hearing aid, right? He had that, and then it felt embarrassing to have to go to the appointments and ask and do the things. This is in the privacy of your own home. But you had a very personal experience with why you created these.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, it was my grandfather. When we found out that he had pretty significant hearing loss from a young age, when I was about 8 years old, I started to notice that Grandpa didn't want to talk to me, didn't want to hang out. At least that's what I thought. The reality was he was just suffering from hearing loss. And then it got much worse, to the point where he was disconnected. My grandma, my mother, all of the grandchildren couldn't even have a relationship with him. So when the FDA created the over-the-counter hearing aid category and said, we need to make hearing aids affordable and accessible for the nearly 50 million Americans and billion people worldwide that have hearing loss, I knew this was something that I absolutely had to help with. And so that's how the Atom Pro 2 and Audien Hearing was born. I'm actually one of the designers and inventors. We needed to make a product that was rechargeable. You're never buying another battery again. This portable charging case has its own battery life. We needed to make it so that it was discreet, comfortable, has great sound quality. To turn it on, you just take it out of the case. To turn it off, you just put it back in the case. That is it. And there's a single button to control it. And I'll show you that in a second. But there's 24 hours of battery life from the hearing aid and another 3 days from the case. So you're talking about maybe 5 to 7 days of use time on a single charge.
And if I do need to recharge, how long does it take to
charge? If you need to
recharge,
it only takes about 3, maybe 4 hours to recharge the entire case. Less than a cell phone, and you can plug it in at night just like one.
Yeah, this truly is life-changing. In what used to be, if you were to have to make an appointment, get the appointment, make sure you didn't have to cancel the appointment, get the fitting, do the follow-up appointment, we're going into like $1,000.
And then you're looking at a $5,000 hearing aid, usually on top of it.
So here's the deal. For under $200, it's the lowest price that we've been on this hearing. Look, I even have it in. You forget that you have it in. It is so discreet, easy to wear, and comfortable. That's one of the biggest differences when it comes to hearing aids, is it's comfortable. This little tab is just so you could pull it out. Easy in, easy out, right? That's the beauty of Audien. So I believe with we're gonna take a little look at an experience, because I think you may feel this, or you may feel like somebody that you know and love when you're having conversations. It's like this. This kind of helps us understand, do I need a hearing aid? Watch this.
Hey, sweetheart, I'm going to run up to the store real quick. I've got the list off the fridge. Is there anything else that you need?
Yes, actually, forgot to put on the list dog food and dog treats. And then also, could you just pick up an extra half-gallon of milk?
Hi, and welcome to the Oakwood Diner. My name's Emily, and I'll be your server today. Can I get you started with something to
Drink like our homemade lemonade or a nice iced tea. Today's special is the bacon cheeseburger. It's a crowd favorite.
Good evening. I'm Chris Davis, and this is your local news update. Our top story tonight, a local park is receiving a
major renovation, including new playgrounds and green spaces, thanks to a generous donation from community members.
I love this playground. Did you see the upgrades they made?
Yeah, it's such a great place. And what about that trail that goes around?
Perfect for a hike.
We should definitely bring the kids here next time. Next to the pond would be so fun for the kids to feed the ducks.
Sometimes it's hard because if you've been hearing your whole life and then it slowly is changing, you don't always realize
You
it.
almost don't notice sometimes, but I promise you, the people you love do.
That's exactly it. So can I ask you, who are these best for? How do I know when it's time?
Yeah, absolutely. So these hearing aids are for people with mild to moderate hearing loss, which really represents the overwhelming majority of the hearing loss population. This is for people that maybe struggle to hear the TV, that aren't picking up on the conversation, that don't want to go to the restaurant because they can't actually tune in and connect with the people they love, or that go there, smile and nod, pretend like everything's okay. You know, this is for people who want to take control of their life and their quality of life back. And this is just as much for the loved ones of those people. Because with over-the-counter hearing aids, with no prescription, no hearing test, no doctor's visit, no Bluetooth, no app control, none of the barriers required here, you can actually get this and gift it to somebody. You know, Mother's Day is coming up tomorrow, Father's Day coming up shortly, and I really can't think of a better gift, you know, than a hearing aid and the ability to love and connect with those people
You
again.
make such a good point, because how many times have you told maybe your partner or your dad, in my case, in my house, it was my dad, hey, you should go make that appointment. Hey, I think we got something going on. Now you're relying on them to have to make the appointment. They're not gonna make the appointment. This is where you take it into your reins as a family member because you care about them and you love them, and time is really of the essence. You wanna maximize the most time that you can have with them. So here's the deal, let me walk you through, because this is the lowest price that we've offered on a today's special value. If you've bought Audien before, please give us a call. I would love to hear your story, what you love about them, how they've been so helpful, how now you can hear the little voices of the grandkids. Because here's the thing, I have 2 kids. They don't ever look at you face on when they're talking to you. They're looking down at their trucks, or they're playing with something else, or they're turning the other way, right? And you want to be able to hear their voice. You want to be able to interact with them and build that connection, because you don't have decades and decades ahead of you to do it. We have to make the most of now. So you get your hearing aid, you also get the charging case, 24-hour battery, and then back in the case, it'll charge it for another 3 to 4 days, depending on your usage. You're going to get all the tips that you need. You're also going to get a care kit. So that's the other great thing about this. You have your hearing aid set, that comes to you. Another added value is the care kit. Those also include like wax guards.
Yeah, everything you need, earbuds, wax guards, cleaning brush.
The other thing for the first time ever is that we're doing a new accessory bundle and a service bundle, really based on customer feedback. So what's the 1-year protection plan that's included?
So the 1-year protection plan is going to cover literally everything from, you know, damage to loss and everything in between, whether your dog eats it, you step on it. I mean, I can't even tell you, with over 1 million customers nationwide, we have heard it all. You know, we've heard of people just walking and forgetting, and they just wear it in the shower because it's so comfortable, right? And just things like that. So you're going to be fully covered, and instead of having to buy an entirely new pair of hearing aids, you're going to be able to get it for a small deductible of just $39.
And you also have an incredible customer service plan. That's just because of the brand too, by the way. Can I ask you, because with when my dad had his, a lot of times it was clunky. Like if he was to use it, and then sometimes he would have to answer, like, because I'd call him a lot. And so he'd have to answer his phone, and it was like, okay, hold on, honey. Hold on, it's not connecting. I don't know why it's not working. And it was so annoying. Can I ask you to take us through how these work, How do I turn them on?
Absolutely.
Adjusting the volume in the different settings.
Yeah, I like to call this the Audien experience. So right here in my hands, you've got the Atom Pro 2. So there's a button on the back, you just click it, and it'll tell you the battery life of the case right there. So you can see the battery life's 2 out of 4. The hearing aids are fully charged, that UV light is showing as well. To use the hearing aids, this is it. Grab the pull wire, remove it, it turns on automatically. Put it back in, it turns off automatically. That's the on and off process. Now to control the device, there is literally just one button and the tip of your finger. You click the button to rotate through 5 different volume levels, and then you hold it for just 3 seconds to rotate through 4 hearing modes. Each ear is ambidextrous, so you can actually use either one, left or right. You don't have to worry about that. But if you did want to remember a side based off where you put it, it's actually going to save the setting for you that each one is on. You can control them independently. You can wear one, you can wear both. You can choose different size earbuds for each ear. I mean, we are really giving you everything at the tip of your fingers. But what's really important in the Audien experience is whether you're 30, 60, or 90, it has to be something that anybody can use. And that's why the Getting Started guide here is literally all you need to succeed. People think, okay, hearing aids, super complicated. No, we reinvented that. 5 easy steps with images right there. That is literally all it takes. And if you are somebody who wants a little more, no problem. We've got the customer service line. We've actually got a dedicated QVC line. You can call, text, chat, email 7 days a week. And then, just to make it even more fun, we've got, just for today, we've got the hearing specialist appointment. So when you open your box, there's gonna be right there this step-by-step of what you need to do to talk to any one of our hearing specialists. You can go to the website, scan the QR code, or just call the phone number right there. And that's a 20-minute one-on-one video call with our trained hearing specialists.
That's a $100 value. That's also at your own home. You don't have to go, that's like on your own time. You know what I mean? You don't have to go somewhere else. You don't have to get in the car or have somebody drive you somewhere. Here, I want you to take a listen to this other video to understand how the Atom Pro 2 really works. You might get a sense of why it's one of our best-selling brands here at QVC. Take a listen.
Grandma, come outside with me. Please, I want to play. Grandma? Did you hear me? Grandma, come outside with me. Please, I want to play.
Come on, let's do it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the deal. This is the time, because the price is going to go up at the end of the day today. If you find that you're struggling in conversations, the TV volume's up and your partner's complaining, this is when you grab our today's special value. I was so grateful while my dad was still alive that he had a hearing aid. And I'm so also glad that he got over the stigma of a hearing aid and realized sometimes it goes beyond just age and that you need help. And this is how you have that tool that allows you to communicate better with your loved ones, be able to hear the grandkids. I could talk to him on the phone, because when he was at a doctor's appointment and my mom couldn't be there, oh gosh, it was a mess. You need to equip your loved ones with the right tools, and that's what this is all about. This is a $448 value. You get your hearing aids, you're getting the maintenance kit, that's a brand new accessory bundle, the 1-year protection plan, and then the specialist appointment that Ishan was talking about, that's a $100 value. That's just for our today's special value. I mean, this is really, truly everything. Do you ever buy something and then you're like, great, okay, I'll buy this, and then like, yeah, of course, like a phone. I'll have to buy the case. No, there's nothing else you need. There's nothing else you need today. And you're getting one of the lowest prices we found, under $200. If it's in your cart, check out. So I do want to head over and introduce you to somebody really special who is using the Audien hearing aids. Here, come on over with me. They're also celebrating a special anniversary. This is Mike and Marge, a fantastic couple that have been married, oh, Marge, would you say just a couple years?
A couple.
Yeah, how many?
50.
50. Hi, Mike. It's good to see you.
Thanks.
So tell me a little bit about your experience, because it all started with that 50th anniversary.
It did. Well, it started a little before that. A number of years ago, I was on Mike to go to a hearing doctor because he couldn't hear when we were out with friends and stuff like that. So he went, and the doctor said, well, it's normal that you won't be able to hear in crowds, but your hearing's really very good, so let's go. He goes, but it'll get progressively worse. So over the years, it kept getting progressively worse, and it would be hard for us to go to restaurants where it was noisy and stuff like that, and he would be grumpy. He didn't like doing that, you know? So,
Not that grumpy.
Yeah, a little grumpy. Okay, so it was our 50th anniversary was coming up, and Mike said,